Hi, my name is Jerry Parkinson. This is my first video review of a board game ever, and hopefully it turns out okay. I've always been a big fan of Draft and Strikes or Jeremy Salinas' videos, and I don't think I'm going to come close, but I'm going to give it my best shot. I got my daughter's artwork here, so if you want to look at that instead of listen to me, you know, maybe you'll be better off. But I want to talk to you about a game called Super Showdown. It is a game that's on Kickstarter right now. Now, disclaimer, I don't know the designer. I don't have any financial benefit to you kickstarting or not kickstarting. I was given a prototype to work with, to look at, and to play test. Well, not really play test, it's already done. I just wanted to get a handle on it and use it for my first video review ever. So before I was a board game addict, I was actually a comic book addict. This addiction started with the death of Superman. You know, I had heard of Superman and everything, but I found that trade paperback novel of the death of Superman when Doomsday kills him, and the whole series when Superman came back from the dead. And that kind of got me started on this comic book kick, which abruptly ended when I got married and couldn't afford the weekly trips to the comic shop. But different story for a different time. However, the great thing about this game is that it is almost exactly what you'd expect a Golden Age comic to look like. In fact, the artwork is lifted off of some older comics that are no longer in business, but still very representative of the time and the artwork that you would see in those comics, because they were the artwork that you saw in those comics. At least someone did. And they've been resurrected from the dead, just like Superman, to sit at your game room table and play in the art of Super Showdown. So let me just have you take a look at those components on the table there, and I'll try to go through the game and show you what it's like. However, I would like to mention that there are already some other reviews that have been done on this game, and the art, well, not the artwork, but the videography and the photography is a little bit crisper than what I'll probably be able to produce. So take a look at those and get a feel for what the game will look like. But it's beautiful. I think you'll really like it. So, all right, let's check out the game. Let me show you the components here. The game comes with 18 cards that you see here, and you can tell that the artwork is just great. We have two sets. You have the hero cards and you have the villain cards. And the hero cards are white that you've seen, and then the villain cards are these green cards. Now what's really great about this is that the game requires that you have a pretty good idea of everyone's cards in each other's hands. And it just seems like this is a game that was really built knowing the end from the beginning. You can see here that the heroes are evens, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all the way up to 18. While the villains are odds, and 1, 3, 5, all the way up to 17. Now this is beautiful because, you know, the villain it's kind of, I don't know, it just fits for me. You know, the villains is the odd guy, and the hero is just even all around guy. The hero is also a little bit stronger, you'd imagine, so the cards are always one higher than the next one. So you can see that the 2 matches with the 1 and the 4 the 3. The villain has his little gadgets though, the ray gun and such, but this just helps to see that you can really feel that the game was designed really with all things in perspective. It's a very easy way to know what's in the other person's hand based on what you have in your hand. This is the game board here. It's very small, but yet has a lot of great things packed into it. You can see that there are 4 sides that correspond to different parts on the sides. You have the white, which corresponds to the hero, and the green, which corresponds to the villain. I'm assuming that this is a great place for the hero to sit on this end and the villain to sit over here. But over here you have the victory and the defeat. And this is where the piles come for the cards that are won. They're placed in the victory pile, and the losers are placed in the defeat pile. And this is, again, it just shows that while this is still a small game and not a whole lot of bells and whistles, every inch of this game is utilized and just tightly woven together to bring together a well put together game. You have these little Macaulay beads that are used, the white again for the hero and green for the villain, and the game will be produced with hero and villain meeples, and so those will be different, but this is just what he's used for the most part. So I'll quickly show some gameplay and then just give you my thoughts on the game. Also, there's some player aids here, and this is actually sums up quite well the rules and even just the way that the play is described here on this little I don't know what you call it, a cycle that really kind of just, again, very fluid to the way the game plays. And on the back it has some tips and everything that really do help. I mentioned that the game does come with 2 individual dies. There's a white die for the hero and green for the villain. So the whole point of the game, the goal of what you're trying to do is to get your cards into the... Hi, Mackenzie. This is Daddy's first review. Say hi. Hi. You gonna go to bed?
No.
Okay. Well, do you want to help me with my movie? Okay. Which card's your favorite?
This one.
Why is that one your favorite?
Because it has a girl.
Has a girl?
Yeah.
Is she a damsel in distress? Who's saving her? Is that the hero? Yeah, that's a good card too. And you know, this isn't really a kid's game, but you can just see how kids can enjoy just looking at this game and wanting to watch you play. Okay, so what are my thoughts on the game? Now, like I said, I have no financial interest or vested interest in this company, the designer, at all. So I'm going to tell you what I really think of it, and it's not, you know, I'm not trying to sell it, although I have mentioned that you can, you know, get it on Kickstarter if you like. But the gameplay is very easy to learn, and that's very big for me. You know, I have a lot of people who I like to play games with who aren't very gamer oriented. In fact, most of the people I try to get to my table aren't very gamer oriented. It's killing me. But this game is very easy to teach and makes it easier to get people to the table. The other thing is this gameplay turns around very quickly. You can play multiple games right after each other in succession, and that helps too. The thing that makes it a little bit harder is that it's very different than what you're used to and what most people are probably used to as far as gameplay. Usually we play our cards in response to an event or in response to something that we're trying to adjust to. In this game, however, we have to play the cards before we really know what's going on, and it makes it harder to develop a strategy, at least it was for me, and it may be harder for other people to do the same thing. And that may cause frustration for them. At least it did for me, because I could see that there was some strategy there, and I wanted to grab that strategy and figure it out and to play with it, and it was eluding me. But as I played more and more, I started to have that strategy open up and kind of get a feel for it. The game is very much representative of The Princess Bride, you know, the scene where you have the Sicilian game of wits to the death, and it feels that way here because you and your opponent are trying to outguess or outbluff each other into what kind of a card you have, and it's really a good feeling to stick it to your partner and to really pull one over on them, but at the same time they can get you back. And that's always fun, and that's really what the essence of the game is trying to do. Kind of a tit for tat with the hero versus the villain. The game is fun, and it gets funner as you play. But like I said, there may be a little bit of initial frustration trying to figure out the mechanics. But it's very, very tight, very cohesive. Every inch of that game is there for a reason, and you feel that as you play the game more and more. It quickly becomes easier to grasp, and you do a better job with further games. And I think that most people will have a good time playing it. I don't think you have to have a very high gamer IQ, but it is a little bit different. So something that I think that you can get people to the table with through the artwork and through just the awesomeness factor that this game possesses. But then you just have to help them kind of realize that there are different ways to play games, and this is definitely something that has different mechanics to it. But very, very enjoyable. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review and that it was helpful. If you have any questions, look at some of the other reviews, or go ahead and give Trevor an email. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. At least he didn't mind talking with me, and everything I've heard him correspond with people on the Kickstarter page or in the Board Game Geek has just been very representative of an A-class guy. So that's really why I love Kickstarters, because you get to meet some people out there who are doing this for the love of the game, and you find some really nice guys. So I hope this review gives you an idea of the game and lets you decide if this is something you're interested in. All right, thanks guys.